Welcome to the 2026 Astrology. It's extraordinary, just like this amazing astrologer here. This is Vanessa Montgomery of Astro All Stars. Thrilled to have you to share this journey with me.
Absolutely thrilled to be here with you, Michelle. Finally met in person, teaming up for 2026 forecast.
I think we should take them in gently. Should we lead you in gently a little bit?
Yeah.
So should we start with January? Because when I first looked at January, I was like, oh, got Venus, Mars, Mercury and the Sun, all conjunct Pluto, right? But actually, it is supported by Uranus. And I personally think what that means is that all of us have a big wake-up call. Well, we're thrust into the Aquarian energy, boom, in every area of our life. But that can actually be very releasing.
It can, and welcome to it. Welcome to the era of air and fire, and that's a real theme. The earth and water times are a little more behind us now, and things are ramping up. It's getting fast, it's getting furious, it's getting extroverted, it's ideas, it's action, it's energy. And with the Aquarian theme that we're going to keep reflecting back to, or threading through, that's all about group dynamics and the power of the people, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about... Well, we are out, as we will go on to see, we're at a time that is the end of one reality and the beginning of a next reality. And that's going to take many forms spiritually. It's going to take the form in our lives. And most importantly, globally, we're going through a shift. And what Pluto is telling us is there is nothing you can do about it. And what January is telling us is like, right, I'm giving you that shove into the void. Surrender everything that disempowers you, anything in your life, relationship, the way you communicate, your energy, how you see the world. It's time to join forces to be a force of good. It's going to be a long journey, but this is a very strong beginning.
As you're saying that, I'm thinking fresh winds of change.
Yeah, and positive ones, I think.
Absolutely. It's just going with the flow. Just blow in and blow through and open the windows and get that mustiness out.
Yeah, but you can't hang on to anything. No. Hanging on is not an option now, as we will see. And then, okay, we're going to survive that, get through that, liberate ourselves with that, and then immediately we come into eclipse season, and most importantly, Aquarius square Uranus.
Year of the fire horse.
I am a
fire
horse.
At the same time.
In ancient times, they did not allow girls to be born a fire horse. It was no, because we are warriors, we are rebels, we want to transform everything and change society. So that is the energy that's coming in, and that fire horse energy just fits in with the fire of all the Aries, which is some mind-blowing stuff around Aries this year. And it's all about the transformation of society. So it's very apt, but it's very intense. It's very full on, like me.
Absolutely. And that makes me think of we're going back again already to these Aquarian themes.
Yeah.
And in my memory, I do remember the fire horse is sort of associated with Aquarius. I could be wrong, but that's what I remember from reading. So we've got a lot of grouping up and rebellion and not just rolling over, right?
And I think personally what you're going to find is that in your life, you're going to rebel. You know, if you've pushed anything down in your life that you know, inside you're like, oh, I'd love to rebel against this. Suddenly, it is like, let's say Pandora's box, because I think it does have a bit of a vibe of that. Lid comes off, everything that's been buried comes out, you know, everything is in the forefront. And it's like, I have to make change now. And, you know, change is happening anyway. So embrace it, darling. Embrace it.
And there's a real flow to that change too. It's not like it's forced upon us or it's hard or it's cataclysmic. There's a real flow this year. And it's very helpful.
Yeah, I mean, but very full on. So this eclipse with the Aquarius Uranus square, what do you think about that?
Well, that is a little bit of a shove, actually. Maybe I spoke too soon. This does give us a shove. So if you have any doubts about, I might just resist that, or no, I'm not ready for change, this is going to be your shove. If you are just leaping into the fray and the new you, the new way, because there is a lot of change, as you've probably noticed, then this is the way to go. You'll have less of a shove feeling, but it is a bit of a shocking, wasn't quite ready, but let's go.
And what is interesting, and I'm jumping ahead here, but for me, what is also very powerful is what the nodes are doing later on in the year, where we have the North Node in Aquarius, which is just, I mean, that's our destiny. And with all of this other stuff in Aquarius, it is about transforming society. And the South Node is in Leo, which is all about the ego. I am the man, I am the king, I am the ruler, I am the despot. And all of us moving away. And I actually think it's going to be like a spiritual shift, an energetic shift, not just a literal shift. It's deep.
Very energetic shift. And again, it's building on that theme of air coming into the group, more of a consensus decision-making style rather than I'll just tell you what to do despot kind of style, not the VIP, not the celebrity. It's really about community. It's the opposite of that. And with Pluto in Aquarius, the transformation is real, resistance is futile. So group up, get yourself into a run club or whatever it is, a political sort of agitation or something that you're interested in, and don't be so siloed. I think that's a real way to resist the pressures of change and just flow with where things are going.
But I actually think that, what's interesting, because we were looking at historically where a lot of this, or all these major shifts were and what happened last time. So for one lot of the shifts, it was the introduction of a new way of communicating. So the telegram, the printing press, like you couldn't make it up how in every time that happened, a new way of communication was. And now we've got AI. And on top of that, we had the birth of Facebook, we had the civil rights movement. All of this stuff is going on astrologically for the next level. And I use AI. I find it very interesting. I find it very useful as someone with ADHD. But I had a lot of questions about things like spiritual psychosis, blah, blah, blah. But I believe that we could use AI to uplift our consciousness looking at all the astrology. What do you think about that?
I'm going to be neutral about AI. It's a tool and you can use it for good or ill, and you definitely need to understand the difference between what is useful and what isn't.
And what's real.
And what's real. And I think it's interesting, AIR, it's an age of air. AI? Air?
Oh, yeah.
Just noticed that recently. So it is also, a few years ago we had the Great Mutation. So we were in a very long air cycle. So there's that on top of everything. And that was the Jupiter-Saturn cycle conjunct in Aquarius. So it's just, this theme keeps piling up. And this year, I agree, it's about the technology is really coming in hard and fast.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think, because it's always happened that way, it's happening for a reason. And of course, as sentient beings, it's how we use it. But if we all, to have the good shit in there, we're all expressing, the positive, we've already seen that because Elon Musk, love him or hate him, had Grok, and there were some things that Elon Musk said which, were proven to be false, and Grok came out and said that's false, and that's his creation. So I'm saying because the facts were all in there, so I have some hopes.
And also air is very detached. So we're going with that air element, air and fire. Air is detached. It's not like it's just going to be on your side for a reason. And that example is a perfect one for that detachment. It's you get some detachment. You can see what is happening. You don't just have to support. If it's not right, it's not right. If it's right, it's right. Detachment.
Yeah, and I think that's very powerful. But on the other hand, not to fall into that illusion and go into some kind of relationship with it that is actually not real, because you can lose yourself, and that can do the opposite. It can create a revolution where we all just don't bother to be out in the world and join forces.
Absolutely, and we do need to be out in the world and join forces, especially intellectually with our ideas and independent thinking. So let's take that over to 20th of February, this Saturn conjunct Neptune at 0 degrees Aries. They're calling it a magic triangle. It's like a little triangle with Pluto in Aquarius that we're talking about and Uranus in Gemini that we're also talking about. So Saturn conjunct Neptune in Aries. This is one of the big headlines of the year that we've been waiting for. They've just been teasing each other, following each other back and forth. And this time they kapow, they combine. So Neptune, you're very Neptunian.
I am.
And
No boundaries. No. I mean,
you're very Aries.
that's true, and they are both in Aries. The last time that this happened was in 1989, and it started off a massive chain of events which led to the Berlin Wall coming down. This isn't, this is revolutionary. And in Aries, it's going to happen very quickly. So I anticipate some world events that are going to happen, boom, like that.
Yeah.
Like, just out of the blue. But the good news is, 2 days later, we have Venus trine Jupiter, which gives me hope, darlings. It gives me hope, don't you think?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's very positive. So also with that conjunction, it actually makes the apex the top of it's called a magic triangle. And the triangles in astrology mean that the energy flows and they all share resources. So this Pluto in Aquarius we were talking about, the Uranus in Gemini, it's all flowing. It's not like they're coming in with a hard crash, bam. So the Neptune dissolves and Saturn is structures. Neptune is about surrender or sacrifice and art, also compassion and empathy. And Saturn is, again, manifesting something materially. So this could be in the environment or could be in your life, where that early Neptune, it's 0 degrees Aries is, Neptune, Saturn, 0 degrees Aries in your birth chart. That's what it grounds down. But it's flowing.
That is such a beautiful way to talk about it. For us not to panic that there's going to be some massive change. And as I say, I think Venus trine Jupiter is going to give us this sense of hope. So whatever happens, there may be this sense of good, happy days. Thank goodness at last.
Absolutely. You could find people sacrificing their individual self for the collective, because of Aries is the individual. It's fighting. It's with empathy because of the Neptune, and going for some real structural change, like that wall coming down, the structural just dissolving of the wall. And but that was in Capricorn. So now what is Aries?
Well, it's about people being allowed to be their own unique individual self.
Yeah.
But obviously we've got the Aquarius, which is the collective, but in that particular thing, it's like, I think the people will fight against being made to do things, or to be contained, or to be seen as a homogenized mass. And it's about finding your true power.
It really is. And the last time Neptune was in Aries, we can look at, was the beginning of, don't freak out, the American Civil War, because people sacrificed themselves to liberate others, for others' agency, which is very Aries, just independent agency, being agentic. And there were people that were trapped in slavery in America. And, we're usually so selfish, and Aries, you would think is a selfish sign, or involved with the self sometimes as the shadow.
You're joking.
We all have a shadow side.
It's true.
I'm not mean in Aries, but it's sacrificing the self for the good of others. And with this Pluto in a fabulous flowing aspect, it's transforming. The people, Aquarius is transforming. So all of these things together can be very positive, but you've got to let go of the fear, right?
Well, let me tell you this. So this is 100% the truth. If you were ever caught in a burning building, you would want an Aries to be walking past, because they're the hero, whatever word we can use for that, and they will run in and they will save you. Hero being all genders in this instance. And they are the hero, right? So it could be that people start to stand up and fight and find the inner warrior.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. So the warrior war, the Shiro hero, I just say Shiro, but they're the heroic, and that's what happened in the Civil War. I thought that was incredibly heroic, or Shiroic, that people went and fought to liberate others. They didn't have to.
No, it's going to be, I think, and again, taking it back to your own life, it's going to awaken you to be the hero Shiro of your own life, so that you wake up and you go, do you know what? I am worth it. Who I am is of value. And if anyone is trying to suppress you, control you, you're going to find that fire within your soul very early on in the year.
Yeah, find your fight, your inner fighter, find your fire, that's it.
And you can do that in many ways, because Venus and Jupiter are going to soften it a little bit, right? So you're going to be able to express the love in your heart, to love yourself and to love humanity enough to make those decisions.
So that's the 20th of February. And we were looking ahead a little bit, of course, because we're going through the year. And in April 17,
Ooh.
wow, Woo! 7 planets, not 1, not 5, but 7 planets, all in Aries.
And that is one day after my birthday.
Kapow.
And it's also the new moon. So it is full on, and it brings to us, well, I mean, it's Neptune, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Chiron, moon.
On the new moon.
Yeah.
So we're going to be setting our intentions. There's hardly any aspects because all of the planets are just bunched together. It's an interesting chart, but we are going to be setting our new moon intentions all around those Aries themes, like also new beginnings because it's Aries.
And it's got this lovely little aspect to Pluto. So Pluto's supporting it. Pluto's in agreement that you can put yourself first.
It's like this, isn't it?
Let's go. And it's onwards. So, but I mean, I've never seen that. Have you ever seen that?
No.
I mean,
it's outrageous. It's very, we call that, there's 2 stelliums in there when the planets are bunched up. And people with a stellium like that, they call them the specialist. You know, they're not just, I'll do this, I'll flip to that. It's one thing. And Aries as well, as you would know, being an Aries, is one-pointed. One-pointed. Do you want to bring us the Aries archetype and explain to people for them to tune into how to spark up that Ariesness?
Well, I think really you can't spark an Aries. It takes you over, okay? So it's like an energy's going to take you over. Don't resist it. But also, because it's so extreme, I would say particularly if you're someone that doesn't express your anger, for instance, right? If somebody unleashes that or the energies are unleashing that, you might find yourself going, rah, and not being able to contain it. So I would, if you are listening to this before April the 17th, really think about what's making me angry, what am I passionate about, so it doesn't just all come out on that day. You know, you're able to release on that new moon your fearful side and wake up to your inner warrior. But I have to say, you know, Mars in Aries, I have Mars in Aries. It is like, you know, you will fight for the good of humanity. You just can't not. It's in your being, and that's what the energy is. In my book, The Power of You, I talk about the fact that we are all one consciousness, right? And that's what the Aquarius energy is. We're one. And yet we are a unique soul, where it's very important to express our uniqueness. And this is like awakening you to your beautiful, unique, fiery soul.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think through the Pisces, everything is, people are sensitive, they're feeling the empathy and the intuition. We get to Aries and it is time to go.
And also I think when we had all that Pisces energy, you know, it was easy to kind of escape from reality. We didn't have to deal with what was really going on. We loved a bit of illusion. We loved a bit of distraction. We could romanticize the world, you know. And now we're like, come on, let's sort it out.
What are we going to do about it?
Yeah.
And so we've got, what are the planets involved in here? We have got Neptune. We've got Mercury, which is communication. We've got Mars, which is direct action. There's Saturn, so structuring around this, perhaps structuring for individual agency and independence and being able to take action. Perhaps people that haven't been free to do that.
And what is great, a new moon, you can cast out what has been stopping you, what no longer serves you. And Chiron is here as well, the wounded healer. So your wounds that have stopped you expressing your power, all of that on that day, focus on releasing and going, I'm ready. And you will find it will happen, boom, like that, because that's what Aries is.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go forward to Uranus
Oof.
into Gemini. We've already had a taste, and here we go right through to, and when is this? Right through to 2033.
Well, it'll keep us on our toes.
Sure will.
Our wits will be witted, and hopefully won't be outwitted. But there's been a revolutionary change in the way that we communicate every time Uranus has been in Gemini. And we're already going through that. I quite like it. I think I like it. What do you feel?
Well, I like it. So again, it depends how it falls in your chart. And I've got a lot of air and fire, so this air and fire is just going to lift me. So I'm up for it. I like the pace, I like the change, I like twins and doubling, because of course Gemini is about twinning and doubling and and communication and being extroverted about all these different exciting ideas.
And it also allows you, whether you like it or not, to change direction, right? So Uranus is going to bring you an opportunity just to completely change direction, and amazing communication can happen for you during this era of communication. But I would say remain open to change, and most importantly, specifically in this time, to be open to changing your ideas. Don't get into a fixed rut of thinking.
Absolutely not, because this is the innovator and the disruptor. So we are going to see a lot of disruption and innovating. Well, you know, genius, innovation, high tech does disrupt what we're used to, doesn't it? And like you said, with the social media, we've never looked back. That was air and air influence, but Uranus has an 84-year cycle. So that was Aquarius, which again, we have more Aquarius. So I think that we're all looking at, AI and everything's changed, barely begun. So 2026, we're really going to see it.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Shall we now head into the big one?
Absolutely.
You want to start?
What's the big one?
July.
Oh, yeah. In July, we go into Jupiter changing sign into Leo. Jupiter, the lucky planet, the planet that is correlated with expansion. So where's the luck? Where's the expansion? We can actually go into the opposite side of Aquarius, back on the other side of the axis. So what I find interesting about this is with Pluto in Aquarius, the shadow side of Pluto is the Leo. So the leadership style, the cult of the individual is all in shadow, and it's not working. But then here comes Jupiter saying, do a bit of that actually, and they might have they will have a little bit of a face-off. So getting that balance right between that leadership and being able to shine independently, that creativity and extroversion and look at me and what I'm doing, does need to be balanced with that plutonic side of Aquarius, which is the group and doing things for the group, less for the self. We're going to have to see a balance with that, or it's going to be a little bit of a clash.
But it is such a huge thing. Mystic rectangles, otherwise known as envelopes, always bring some astonishing news. Okay, the first one on the 19th of July, we have a grand air trine as well, with Uranus trine the moon, trine Pluto, trine Uranus, and then the mystic rectangle. I can't bother to read all that out, but can you give me some highlights?
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
When you have such a large aspect configuration, so you've got the kite, you've got oppositions, you've got grand trine, you've got sextiles that flow. It moves into also having a mystic rectangle.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
There's just so much flowing through the chart, which again, there's a lot of movement. There's not stuckness. So this could be a good time for you to get things flowing and to really pull in a lot of resources from different areas of your life.
An excess of information, but somewhere within that is something very important for you to hear and for the world to hear. Things are coming out. There will be big news in July. Potentially shocking news, actually, but certainly revolutionary news and soul news. And the next one, actually, on the 24th of July, is a grand fire trine. So again, we've got that air and fire, which is the theme of the year. And what do we think that's going to bring?
I think just to remember that air and fire is extroverted. It's not about being passive or sitting around. It is about expressing and getting movement and discovery, and with the air is pioneering.
I think, actually, that there may be something to do with different countries coming together for peace in some way. I mean, I'm, you know me, ever the optimist, but I really maybe feel that.
If you look at the big picture, it could be different. It could be in your own life or that bigger picture.
Yeah.
Different elements coming together for sure.
But it's about freedom and it's about community. So, you know, fingers crossed, darlings. I have high hopes for this.
Negotiating, talking, at least in talks. Everyone's talking, communicating. It's out. It's not just in your mind, in your bedroom anymore.
And also on the 25th, Neptune is sextile Pluto. So that is like, again, that coming together.
Oh.
This one's. Who are you, Neptune? Oh, you must be Pluto. I'm Neptune. Much more friendly. Anyway, it's so there is possibility here, and of course, on the 27th of July, the North Node enters Aquarius and the South Node enters Leo.
Big news.
A massive new era. So I reckon it could be like things come out before that shift of our destiny.
And again, we have this theme. Again, we're repeating and building on this theme of the Aquarius-Leo axis. This time, the North Node, we must follow the North Node, is repeating the idea of Aquarius. Get with the group, do things for the community level.
No, we are all one. There is nothing in Aquarius that is judgmental or sees them separate. They value different cultures. They value different identities. And that's where we're heading. And we need to, frankly. No matter what you think, if we don't do that, it will be mutual self-destruction. We have to find our common ground without doubt. But in other good news, the Sun is conjunct Jupiter. All these things are giving me hope within the chaos.
Absolutely. I think it's really positive. It's up to us to create the world we want. How do we do that? Astrology is saying team up. Think communally. Think collectively. That's a real key for this year.
Moving away from seeing the difference and seeing one group as pieces of crap and the other group as all perfect no matter what they do. No, this is different. We're going to actually look for the common ground.
Common ground.
There's no more of this extremism in all areas. Otherwise, we are in danger. If it goes any more extreme, we are in danger. Look at what's happening now, with this side thinking this. Then we've now got Putin, we've got India, we've got China all saying, oh, we're going to change that. We all hate you. And we hate you. Where's that going to lead? Nowhere good.
The South Node in Leo. So this suggests that we can draw from and help get that Leo archetypal creativity and leadership and individuality to work for the collective. How do you draw that up? It's a little bit like we're doing now. We might be colourful, but we're talking about the collective, not ourselves. That is very much the South Node, Leo. Go to the north.
Sorry. It is interesting, though, because we've got South Node in Leo, which is what we're letting go of, right? It's our past life, what we're outgrowing, which is the ego, etc. And yet, we have Jupiter in Leo. So maybe it's saying, the Leo, the ego. The other great thing about Leo is generosity of spirit. Very generous, Leos. So it's about stepping into that, and because obviously Jupiter is the most generous planet of them all. So it's about us expressing our generous spirit to each other rather than being, I am the king of the jungle vibes.
Absolutely. And we've been seeing, I guess, so much how there's been pooling of resources and just hoarding of resources. Let's just open up those resources and be generous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But whatever way you look at it, the Leo is the South Node now. So whether it takes 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, no, I think it's sooner. At the end of the day, it's behind us. We are as a humanity outgrowing that. And I also just want to say, all this Aquarius energy, we may well see some aliens. I'm going to say it, right? We might, but you know what? It's not necessarily the way that we think. It might be we find a planet that's got things on it that isn't living aliens, but there's something going on there, because it's about stretching the boundaries of what we believe and what we know. Hopefully it will be just something like that. But also, our vibration is shifting. We are able to go into different dimensions. We are able to shift our energy and understand things from a much deeper, basically being able to connect to the one consciousness, to feel that oneness. I'm rambling on, I can see but you get, this is important. I'm not articulating it very well, but it is important to know that we will be able to transcend boundaries, not in a Pisces way, but maybe even in a literal way.
Absolutely. So Aquarius is air, and also associated with the alien, whether that's alien technology from another planet or what is alien to us. And with Uranus in Gemini, I think that shock of that innovation of what is alien is really perhaps a whole new paradigm with how we think or how we communicate. They're already working on the brain chip thing, and allowing people to see that have never seen or speak that have never spoken using technology.
And I do think we can change reality, and we're understanding that in a new way, because science has just proven on a quantum level that the present can change the past. Now you think about that for a minute. I've always done a technique, it's in my book, about how when I feel really, really happy, I go back to past damaged, wounded little young me, and I say, don't worry, and I cheerlead myself, and I send love and healing and hugs to that child. Try that technique when you're happy. And equally, if you're feeling sad, ask your future self for help. These things work. It's not all airy-fairy. I think we're going to see this scientifically proven in a brand new way. We are open to understanding things that it was impossible, particularly with all the Capricorn energy, for us to understand before. It's a whole new world.
Absolutely. It is a new world, and Capricorn is really about the past, traditions, the established ideas. And now Aquarius is really, let's go forward. The key word is progression, that Uranus in ideas, let's go. Huge changes, and really being open to the new, not judging it, okay, there's an alien, it's blown our minds, but how can we integrate this and connect? It could be deep sea. I'm thinking air because it's an air sign. But our whole deep sea is virtually completely alien to us.
And on top of that, Aquarians are the seer of the future. They are the what's it called? They make things. What is it called when you make things? When you make things like
Builder.
Leonardo,
genius,
Da Vinci. Had ideas in the future that other people. Yes, but they can see the future. They can visualize things. Visionaries that are beyond anyone else, and the energy is that now. We are seeing the future. We're heading to the future. I wouldn't be surprised if time machines and stuff that we never knew existed or couldn't be done. We're going to find out on a scientific level things that are going to be spiritually an uplift.
Absolutely. I think we've barely had a taste of it.
Vibrational shift like no other.
So what else is happening?
By the way, do you think this is now the age of Aquarius?
It's technically not yet. We're in the, it's like, the sun comes up, it's not risen, but there's light. We're at that stage.
Oh man, what's it going to be like when it is? I don't even know. But yeah, I mean, I'm feeling it like Aries. I like to jump ahead. Like, come on in, bring it on. Yeah.
There's a whole technical thing you can work out. So we won't see that in our lifetime, but we're clearly seeing the rays coming through the dawn.
We are tasting it, darlings.
Yeah.
We can taste it on the tip of our tongues. Okay, are we done with that? Or is there more to go there? Or what's your feeling?
We are up to Venus retrograde.
Oh yeah.
In Libra. So in October 25, Venus will retrograde in her own sign. And part of that retrograde, the whole retrograde actually, she's mixed up in this huge kite with a mystic rectangle. So grand trine with this, air trine with a mystic rectangle. So again, there's a lot going on, a lot that's flowing. So I can
find that information from the past then as well.
There is oppositions always in these mystic rectangles, but there's just so much flow that this Venus retrograde in Libra, we're going to think about reflecting on our relationships. We are going to be reflecting on our aesthetics. Libra is also justice, law, fairness. Like, is it fair? Is it equal? Is it balanced? So I think this is going to be really beneficial for perhaps negotiations as well.
Although there is a T-square on the 26th.
Oh.
So there is, we might fight to hang on to things. And don't forget, it's in Scorpio. Oh, it's in Scorpio, I think.
It goes back mostly through Libra.
Oh, right,
It starts in Scorpio.
Yeah. Oh, well, so that's a rough transition then, isn't it? That's a...
Well, it's part of this beautiful configuration as well.
What's good about that is then, like, it may be something you're obsessed with, that you've hung on to, you can't let it go because you want it in that obsessive Scorpio way. By the way, I love Scorpios, don't take this personally, but you know what I'm saying? You're living it. And so we start off with that, we're like, no, I'm not letting go. And then we get to Libra and we're like, I have to find my balance. I am worthy of balance in my life. And that's on a mundane level.
Absolutely. And this brings us to one of the big headlines you might not hear in a lot of places, going back to talking about that Pluto in Aquarius. So remember, Pluto also, some key themes around Pluto is it's about the hidden. It's buried wealth, it's power, buried hidden power. In Aquarius, it's of the group. Maybe we don't know how powerful we really are all together.
Yes.
Remember that saying, divided they fall, united they stand. We need to remember that. There's people out there that benefit from everyone being separated and division because you are stronger together. We're stronger together. Look at us, stronger together. Oh yeah.
Is this segueing
Segueing
into Pluto out of bounds?
We are out of bounds. What does that even mean?
It means that it's not being controlled by the sun. Is that right?
It's called declination. So
In my basic language.
The sun's height and how low it goes in the sky in mid-winter and midsummer is the bounds of the sun. So when planets go out of the bounds of the sun, they go further.
So they're less controlled by the sun. They're doing their own bloody thing.
See those dogs? They're
out of bounds.
Yeah, they're out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
Mucking up. So planets out of bounds, they behave in unexpected ways. They're not confined to the convention and collective. They don't do what they're told. So Pluto out of bounds, think of the planet of power, destruction, but also power. Being out of bounds. Unfortunately,
it's a good thing, though.
It's
hang on
what
a minute.
we make it.
Can I say the good thing first before we get into unfortunately? Don't, whatever you do, Google what happened in history. Anyway, I think out of bounds means, in a good way, right? That we are able to join together in a way that is like, no, we can't now. We can't. It's not allowed, right? We're controlled, and then groups are set against groups. I think it means we're going to find a way that none of us anticipated coming. Yeah, to transform and come into our power. Over to you about the unfortunate now.
We're going to highlight transform and come into our power. That's a fantastic key. If you just hold on to that motto, transform and come into our collective power, I'll add. There's something with Pluto out of bounds north and Pluto out of bounds south. So this is south. South is new beginnings.
Thank goodness. Where
people move into revolutions and come together as a collective to make things right, whereas the north is actually last time it was north, which was Hiroshima.
But it's not north.
It's south, which is revolutions, American Revolution, the French Revolution. It actually ended its out of bounds era with the end of the Reign of Terror, which was the death of this guy that was instigating it, Robespierre. So to me, that's extremely positive.
And having said that, it does this for 10 years. Hooray! 10 years. But after that, it doesn't do it. I think it's 3,000 years.
That's it.
And yeah, the myth of this is, what people have been saying is, after this 10 years, it's 3,000 years of peace. Let's visualize that. Let's manifest that.
There's definitely, if you look at cycles, it looks like it's going like this and then it comes in. So I'm wondering if there's a lot of cataclysm that just kind of isn't so ridiculously out of control. Those revolutions were truly out of bounds.
Nice ones.
Maybe we learned to
instant ones.
Yeah, and maybe
Aries, instant ones. Like
instant.
the Berlin Wall coming down appeared to be instant. I'm sure there's a lot going on behind the scenes.
It was very quick.
Yeah, so hopefully it's like that. Things change.
Bang.
That's that, without too much
Absolutely.
destruction.
And perhaps we managed to manage ourselves collectively. We do need to do that. That's really important. And maybe this not going out of bounds anymore of destructive Pluto is signifying that. If we hold intention, that's very powerful.
And it's all our responsibility now. Yeah. All of us have to make these changes in a positive way with an open heart.
Absolutely.
That's the only way through, We can't escape it now. That Aquarius is saying we are one. I know, whenever I say that, I get backlash. And, I'm not going to take that personally. But at the end of the day, it's all changing. And here we are. And, We are one.
And we have to move individually as a collective. We have to move individually. We can't sit around thinking someone else will do it.
No.
We are a sum of our parts, but we move collectively, not for this group or this book that person wrote, or, you know, religious sort of ideas all fighting each other. It's about what really is best for humanity, our planet.
And this is what I put it like this, which I've, you know, is like we are all one, but we are unique shards of the whole. All of us are a single cell in this great experience. You know, we could be a healthy cell or not so much, you know, like some cells infect other cells and that causes dis-ease and illness. You know, let's all just choose to be a healthy cell.
Choose to be a healthy cell.
I know I'm an Aries, I can sound like this is all very simple. No. It's important in any way it's happening, and we are going to another vibrational level. Hurrah! And also, it's going to make it a lot easier to manifest, but that is, you know, manifest humanity healing, and also being able to connect with humanity to be able to draw the right experiences to us.
I think so. What was it? Shards of the collective.
Yeah, we're all shards of the divine, so we're a unique shard.
The divine collective.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's end on that one.
Yes.
What do you think?
Yes.
I'm feeling positive.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am actually, because first of all I was like, oh my God, and now I'm like, yeah, baby.
Yeah.
It's all going to be all right.
And it's the Aries, you know, pump it up.
Yeah.
Do the thyroid like a gorilla and just like pump up your energy. You can do it. It's extroverted.
Yeah.
Bring it out.
I don't need to do that. I'm already too far that way. With my Mars and Aries.
Yeah.
Anyway, you are fabulous. We should do this again sometime. I love your work, and I'm so delighted to have met you and that you're here. And I'm wishing you the most fabulously revolutionary year. So much love to you.
Wonderful. Thanks for hosting me. Hostess with the mostess over here. Aries, Pisces combo. I agree this could be a fabulous year for you. Lean into it and move into it, and have a wonderful 2026.
So much love.